Seminar. Yanis Atatemkumbo. I don't know if I'm butchering his surname. He plays for the Bucks in the NBA, and he did a post-match interview, and the one interviewer was asking him, Muguti, does he view the season as a failure? And his response and trended on all social platforms. People spoke about it for weeks and weeks and weeks on all these basketball shows. And his response wasn't just based on life as a sports player. He was speaking about life in general and what failure is and what it's not. He speaks to the interviewer and he asks him, Muguti, um, every year you work, do you get promoted every year? Interview says no, and he's like, is that year a failure? Have you failed that year? You know, he carries on to say, Uguti, it's not failure. It's taking progressive steps towards your goal. Some days are harder than others. Some days you trip and fall. Some days you roll back a couple of steps. As long as you can get up and keep going. So, this video is more or less talking about failures. My family's had their fair share of lows and challenges, and I know a lot of people that are watching this. They can relate in terms of their failure and their family's challenges that they've faced. So last week Monday on the 1st, I started the 75 hard challenge, and it's 4 liters of water a day. It is no alcohol. It is keeping a diet, taking pictures every day, progressive pictures, reading 10 pages of a self-help book. What's the other one? Doing 2 gym sessions a day. So one is indoors and one is outdoors. And I was going fairly well until I woke up this morning and I just felt like there was like a ton of bricks on my chest. I'm feeling low. I'm feeling sick. My whole house is man down with flu. My boys are coughing themselves, crazy. I'm sick now, and I'm now faced with at a crossroads. Guti, do I continue with the 75 hard, or do I just say, okay, Benson, let's just focus on your health, and maybe attempt it another time, because the moment you miss one day, you have to start again. A very good friend of mine, very good friend of mine, Utube, shout out to, he did it for 18 days, and then he also got sick. He got really, really sick. He was throwing up. He did it for 18 days, and he was like, yo, he failed. And I was like, ooh, bro, you did this shit for 18 days? How crazy that is? Like, I've done it for 8 days. So that's telling you, Guti, I've drank 34 liters of water, in 8 days. I've had 16 gym sessions. That's more than people have done the whole year. I've had 16 gym sessions. Think about that. So some of you guys who are active train 3 times a week, that's 12 sessions a month. I've done 16, fam, in 1 week. Well, in 8 days, So drank 32 liters of water. That's way more than I drank in probably the whole of March and April put together, So now I'm at that place. I'm on day 9. I did my first session this morning. I regret it because my body's so sore. I've been drinking water, but it's hard to go down. I just want to sleep. I want to rest. So there's many times where we feel like this in life. And the trick is to measure and weigh up the pros and the cons. I know certain people, you with your David Goggins, just go hard. Okay, there's a time for you to just keep pushing through and just fighting. I get that. There's many times for that. And then there's times where you just say, okay, listen, I need to take 2 steps back in order to take 3 steps forward. And I'm at that point. I don't know. I'm going to keep pushing through. I'm going to try and see if I can finish today strong, see how I feel tomorrow. But if it continues to feel like this, then I might have to pull the plug. Does it suck? Of course it sucks. Many failures suck. But again, I'm choosing to look at it the way that Giannis looks at it and says, dog, you've gone 8 days. That's you drank so much water, 4 liters a day. You've never done it in your life. You've never had one day where you drank 4 liters, let alone 8. So I'm trying to look at it from a positive spin. Which these are the steps to success. My body is thanking me. The fact that I got to flush out my kidneys, the fact that my liver got to rest this past weekend, and I didn't have to I wake up hanging, whatever the case may be, But at the same time, be cognizant of the long term in terms of health. I want to feel healthy as soon as possible, and me forcing certain things, I don't know. Same with work. I closed a chapter last week and I spoke about this. Certain people may see it as failure because they want me to work in one establishment for 50 years, like a certain generation. Some of us look like it's an end of a chapter. It's not the end of anything. It's not a failure. It's just, look, I've gotten as much out of this partnership as possible. Let me move to my next partnership and grow like that. So same in relationships. Sometimes you need to be part of Team Begazela and be that strong rock and fight for what you believe in. And then sometimes you realize, Uguti, you're flogging a dead horse. This is done. So again, it takes a lot of maturity, takes a lot of emotional intelligence, taking that step back and weighing the pros and the cons, and not just looking at it in the now, but looking at it in the mid to long term. But guys, tell me how you guys think. Tell me your views. If I'm wrong, if I'm just being soft, this generation of soft kids. Tell me if I'm being soft. But let me go see if I can just take a bit of some meds and take a nap. Anyway, get in guys.